Oh, I was about to start, and then I choked. That didn't go well. Ziggity Zig talking his way to bronze game number 101. Between myself and Major Joe up here on the top side of Core Hall Compound. Let's switch over to second player. Now, I did realize that a couple of videos apparently did not have this little piece down here because I hadn't expanded the entire capture to include the entire thing. So, that kind of sucks. But we now have that fixed, and this should be, actually I think this is the second video because I didn't put up the 100th one yet, but this is the second video after the promotional trailer for the new, well, I'm gonna call it the new Lime Not Lemon channel, which myself and Griff are putting together. Quick explanation of why we want to do that, just because every time we thought of a new thing to put up throughout the week, he wanted to add some more of these. I'm still going to be doing Griff Adventures of Griff over here, because that's just me. But as far as the Master Race is going to go over there, and then we wanted to play some Diablo 3 together, and we wanted to do a couple of other ideas. So we just decided, you know what, the things that were the two of us, we should just put up over there, because otherwise, once we put up all the fun things we want to do, there's only enough space for one or two talking my way out of bronze, and there's so many games to talk about, because yes, I've been going up against like top 25, occasionally even top 8 silvers, and I've been winning maybe 50% of them, which kind of annoys me. Here's my thing. I spot a gas and no gateway, so I guess the gateway might just be a little bit behind mine. Yes, that certainly seems to be the case when you look up here in the production. So, again, what I was talking about in the last video was if you spot a pylon and no gateway, that just means you're slow, because it's bronze. If you spot no pylon and no gateway, then you're probably getting proxy. One of the things I found about the whole MMR thing in the leagues is, if I'm in bronze, I should be playing bronze, because that's my league. And then if I'm beating everyone in bronze, then I should move up. You know, it just seems that simple to me. But if I'm in bronze and then it says, oh, you're beating everyone in bronze, you should start playing people in silver. I'm like, no, I shouldn't play people in silver until I'm in that league. So if you equate it to boxing, let's say you were in, and I'm gonna get all these wrong, let's say you were in like lightweight or if you were in featherweight and you were beating everyone in featherweight, but you weren't heavy enough for like lightweight, you'd still be fighting featherweights, because that's just the division you're in. I mean, if you gain a little bit of weight, then yeah, boom, you move up, but not until you're pretty much solidly beating just about every, well, actually that's a bad example, because you might be losing everything and then just gain weight. Okay, bad example, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, hey look, a game's going on. So here's me trying to do my 3-stalker rush. I decided to do another PvP because I was having a peek through the recent ones, and it's been a lot of Terran and not enough Zerg or Protoss, and since there are no Zerg playing, I think I played one the other night and it was just kind of a crazy game. But there's very few Zerg games that I go up against now. Let's have a look and see. Oh, yeah, he's 3 harvesters ahead of me, probably because I keep dropping the ball. And yeah, look, I'm not actually producing any right now. Totally dropping the ball on worker supply. Lame. Mostly because I'm working on this stupid 3-stalker rush thing. However, 3-stalker rush, my best time is 5:05. Let's see when these are going to come out. And it is... oh. Well, that's a funny looking stalker. You know what that is? You know what that is? That, my friend, like, right there. Let's see. In a powerful melee warrior, he can attack ground units. He's got 100 life and 50 shields. Oh, God. Yeah, that's not a stalker. So, that's not my fastest 3-stalker rush. That's just me getting supply blocked again. Look at that. And that's only... oh... I really hope I didn't win this game. So I went in for another peek just to see what I could see, and I think I just saw 2 gates. But I eventually did lose. So my units there, my scouting probe. Have a quick attack around just to see if I find a scouting pylon. Finally getting a couple more of these, of a few more units. Getting that up and running. I'm at 19 to 25, not sure. Ooh, he's getting a Robo Bay. So I now just start to work on my army count. There is a 3rd gateway. Ah, there's a robot. Okay. So I don't... yeah, I decided to chrono boost this the Cybercore one last time.
Research complete.
And then there we go. So I have 2 warp gates now ready. And I have my robotics facility almost set on 5, but not quite. There we go. Let's have a look at the army supply. My army supply is up. Income's about the same, so he just doesn't seem to be spending all that well. That's interesting. But there we go. And I grab a couple of sentries because I haven't had any yet. You want to have a couple of force fields just handy, I think. I'm not quite sure what the best number of sentries in your army are, something. I don't know. Here comes an observer. So the fast observer, now that they are down to like 30 seconds. Oh, here comes a warp prism. That's intriguing. The title of this game was Didn't Panic, but a subheading to that was a nice FF. So apparently I throw out a nice force field. Now I get slightly impatient here, and I actually start chasing my observer out. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so 370. So I start moving out just to see what I can see. I'm not sure if I decide that I have enough. No, I decide to get a few more units. Drop a pylon up near the front here. Do not take that for whatever reason, but let's just see what happens here with Mr. Observer. I'm not sure if he's actually going to see an expansion, but aha! There we go, that was bad. So I lost that pretty quickly, mostly because I wasn't paying attention. However, still, ooh, yeah, army and worker supply is pretty even. I go slightly ahead just there. A 3-gate robo, my robotics bay, or facility, which does not seem to be doing anything just yet. Come on, why am I not? I'm not taking a tower, I'm not moving out. I've got a decent complement of stalkers, a couple zealots. I should probably move the zealots up first, but there you go. Ah, there you go. So, here we go. Here it is. What I decided to do here, and then split them up. Force field so they can't retreat, and then they just get very confused. So I got very lucky there, picking off a number of units, and that pretty much, that was the ball game right there. I mean, that was it. A few seconds ago, no, a few seconds before that, yeah, he's taking an expansion. So instead of the expansion, I suppose so. But this really helped me because when he moved back, there was a few seconds when he wasn't doing anything with his stalkers, and they just were not attacking because they were trying to escape and they got stuck. So I got really lucky not losing any units there. In theory. Then I just waltz in. Because all he's got are 4 zealots. Cannot really do all that much. Probably can force field it again there. Just to split him up. I'm not getting anything done. I am not expanding behind this. However, if you have a peek down here, I got a few units landing down in my main. So I think I might have grabbed it really quick and I come down and get the probes out of there, so I lost 5 or so. Wait, no. I didn't lose a single one. That went well. I take my probes down there, and then I decide to bring over my immortal. Save up a little bit there. Grab a couple of zealots. For some reason, these guys are not doing anything, so I'm kind of trying to do battle on 2 fronts at this point. Trying to pylon block and get things out of the way. And then at this point, I have a small complement of units that I can hopefully take down these guys with, but it might not quite be enough. He has managed to take down 1 extractor, and now it's time for me to start trying to do anything. The immortal is doing a ridiculous amount of damage. Not being taken down. Focus firing to the towers of all things. Now the only issue here is that this wasn't enough to take out this warp prism. So I kept attacking and then just kind of occasionally looking back and trying to figure out what I could do back here. The issue there was that I also had to bring my probes back in order to start mining again. He stopped looking at that. I finally remembered that I had these 3 down here. So this is just an example started playing in a bit more of a relaxed mindset. At least I've been trying to. And in the relaxed mindset, I mostly just try to feel like I don't know. I just try not to feel like it's that important. You know, after all, it is just a game. When it comes down to it, you say, "Oh, it's warped in down here, so just let's see what I can do about that." And eventually, I think I warp in a stalker once I had the money for it. Once I started up with the economy again, had the issue there is that well, my APM was up to 24. I still can't quite break 30 because I derp. I don't know. Maybe it's my old fingers and my old hands. You know what gets me? I drive a manual. I can drive stick shift. I can play guitar at the same time. At the same time as I sing, I play down at open mic night. But I cannot multitask in this game. I just can't do it. If you count the number of things that I'm trying to do. But then again, I played guitar for a long time before I was kind of able to get all of that done. And it didn't take quite as long to learn stick shift, but that was more of a necessity, and I did it all the time. If I actually sat down and played StarCraft more often. Again, my APM is going up. It is going up. One of these days I'll look back at kind of my first few games, and that is when I'll see that I have improved. I have improved. So, this was a 3-stalker, or at least that double gateway into 3 stalkers into 3-gate robo. Really bad build. Eventually just overpowered him. What I like to call a well-placed force field to split up his army and then just attack. Really low on scouting, mostly with that opening observer. So I guess going straight up the pipe, he had just as fast an observer, which is pretty impressive. I haven't been up against people who really utilize the robotics bay like that. The robotics facility as well. I think I've rambled on too long. Leave me a comment, send me an email to ziggitysig@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at ZiggyStarcraft. And, of course, if you've got some time to kill, you should go on and check over youtube.com/lime-not-lemon, as that's where Griff and I are going to start putting up some content. Some Diablo videos up already, and we'll be having Wednesday is going to be the new Master Races video, which sounds exciting, but really isn't. Stay tuned.